Alrighty, this is episode number 1 of me finding recipes online and simplifying them into things that are a little easier or things that you can actually find at the store, or just not wanting to follow the recipe. I hate recipes, so I'm gonna try to simplify them. I'll make whatever I'm making. Today is gonna be some muffins that I'm going to try. And then I will do a taste test at the end. So we'll see how this goes. There's no telling. So I actually had a plan. Originally, I was gonna do some buckwheat oat muffins. However, I am on some dietary restrictions right now, and I noticed that I am not supposed to be eating the rolled oats that are actually in those muffins. And I could not find buckwheat at the store. I was going to sub the buckwheat for coconut flour in the other recipe, but when I was reading through the recipe, I'm like, damn, I can't even eat this. Like, I literally bought some oats, not even gonna be able to make it. So, I'm going to try to make this recipe with blackberries instead of blueberries. The recipe is coconut flour muffins. All right, I'm getting this recipe from Eating Bird Food. It's a blog. Literally found it on Google. I'll post it here on the page. But these are supposed to be perfectly moist. Hit the spot for breakfast, snack, or dinner. I'm gonna be going out of town this weekend, and I'd be damned if I'm gonna be up in somebody's house hungry as hell because of my poor planning. So hopefully these turn out good so that I can take a few with me on the road and have like a little snack along the way. Let's take a look at the ingredients. Number 1 is going to be my coconut flour. I've got my baking flour. I've got some sea salt. I've got eggs. I've got vanilla extract. And instead of the maple syrup, I am going to be using blue agave nectar. Don't have canned coconut milk, so I'm actually going to be using some unsweetened almond milk that I have got here in the fridge. And then instead of blueberries, I am going to use blackberries in this recipe as well too. I am supposed to be currently watching my sugar intake right now, and actually blackberries and raspberries are the berries that have the lowest amount of sugar in them. If you don't know, now you know. So I've got all the recipes that we need. This is my fatal flaw. I'm about to do this right now. I'm about to see, what does the oven need to be preheated to? Because I always get in the vibe and in the groove, and then I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even start the oven. So let's get that figured out first and get to it. I got the oven preheated to 400 degrees. I am supposed to be making 10 muffins. However, I only have a pan that has 6. I have a smaller pan that has more, but they are very, very shallow. So we're winging it, girlies. We're winging it. I did end up buying some baking cups as well too. And it mentions to line them in the muffin pan. So that is gonna be my first step, lining the muffin pan with my little liners, which are fucking tiny as hell in comparison to the actual thing. So maybe I will use the other one. Prices averted, I ended up using this little one. This has been in my family for forever. This is what my mom used to do like cornbread muffins in, but they actually fit this a little bit better. So I think this is gonna work better. And there's 3, 6, 9. I'll be able to make 10 muffins. Need 3/4 cup of coconut flour. We're going to be mixing coconut flour, baking powder, and sea salt all in together. So we're gonna do 3/4, so that's 1, 2. Ooh, this flour smells bomb. It smells like coconut. 3. So that is 3 of those bad boys. We are to do a teaspoon of baking powder. I don't know the purpose of baking powder. I think it helps it rise or something. I'm not really sure, but we're gonna follow the instructions as closely as we can, but not. Okay, and then we are going to be doing 1/4 of a teaspoon of our sea salt. On to our next step, we are to mix the things that we just put in the bowl, the flour, the salt, the baking powder, mixing that all together. And now it is on to the next step. So this requires 4 large eggs. I think typically with baking, you're supposed to let the eggs sit out. Didn't do that, literally just bought these from the store. Don't have time, not gonna do it. So, I got a little bit of a shell in that one. The shell's still in there. Okay, that would have been a disaster. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 eggs. So let's put those eggs to the side. Now we have got 1/2 cup of milk. I'm gonna mix these together. I'm not sure if that's quite the step yet, but it just seems right. I don't know. Mix them together slightly, I guess. We'll see. So then we're gonna do 1/2 cup of milk. I'm doing the unsweetened almond milk. We like this brand typically because it has less ingredients. It doesn't have all of the gums and the stuff in it, and it's cheaper than getting like malt milk and stuff like that. Oh, we've got to do 1/2 cup of the we're using the agave instead of maple syrup, so we're gonna do 1/2 cup of this as well too. Jeez, that's a lot. Oh my god, that's almost taking up the whole container. This shit better be good. So 1/2 cup. And then we are to do 1/2 of a teaspoon of our vanilla extract. We are now to be whisking these items together. My actual whisk is in the dishwasher right now because they made pancakes this morning. So mixing this together with a fork will do. And then I believe we are mixing the dry and the wet ingredients at this point. So we are going to pour the dry mixture into the bowl with the wet and stir until it is just combined. We're gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes so that the coconut flour can soak up all the liquid. That sounds really, really good. So we're gonna dump this in. We're gonna mix until it's pretty well combined. The good thing is, like these days, you can make stuff like this on your own. Like I don't feel like whenever people have like intolerances or allergies, like even back when I was in high school and my sister like started having her gluten like intolerance stuff going down, like I don't feel like there was very many things like this that you could do and make or buy. This just makes things easier. You get to get your little sweet treat. And it still falls in your, the things that you need, of course. All spatulas are in the dishwasher as well, too. Jeez. Oh, I have a mini one. I'm gonna get some of that. can fold. And I'm just gonna fold it over a little bit more. It's actually mixing together really good. It looks like a dough almost. That's kind of the consistency that it's doing. And it smells really good, actually. So the next step, as we had mentioned, I am going to be doing blackberries instead of blueberries. I have some frozen blackberries. This recipe says that fresh is better. And I have some blueberries, but I want to use blackberries. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. So we are going to be folding in 3/4 cups of blackberries. It calls for 3/4 cups of blueberries, but like I mentioned, I'm gonna just do blackberries. And we are supposed to be folding those in. These are chunky little things, so it's kind of hard to fold them in. Whenever I actually put them in their own little individual tin, I'm gonna try to make sure that there is a couple blackberries in each bite, at least 1 or 2 in each bite. Okay, so the next step is to put it in the muffin tins, which that came very, very quick. I'm assuming with muffin tins, I don't think I've ever used muffin tins before. I don't think you have to use any like oil or anything. I think that's the point of the muffin tin. That's what we're hoping. So I am going to scoop everything over and get all of my little muffin tins filled. And then we're going to bake. This is actually moving really, really quick, which is good. I love simple, I love easy. So this batter is not very like runny or liquidy. So you almost have to like dollop it in there. So I hope it's the right consistency so that we're not fucking anything up. So just dopping them in there. And like I said, I'm trying to have at least 2 little blackberries in each little muffin tin. Oh my God, I hope these are good. I'm so nervous. I'm not a big baker, but I have been needing like a little easy treat to have throughout the day, and this would be perfect because it's easy to make. Like this literally took me no time at all to put together. Now, when you're looking at the ingredients at the grocery store, some of these ingredients are a little bit more expensive than your traditional like flour and like, what else would you put in regular muffins to sweeten them? Like I'm using almond milk. This actually calls for coconut milk, which can be a little bit more expensive, I think, sometimes. But yeah, so that's just something to remember as well. I'm kind of nervous. I feel like I'm packing these in, and I don't know if that's right, but I'm not wasting a damn thing, not in this house. All right. I guess I could have literally just made another one, but it's fine. So, the bake time is 18 to 20 minutes. We're crossing our fingers. We're putting this in the oven, and it's in the Lord's hands now. They're done. Time to pull them out. I think I overcooked them a little bit because I forgot to set a timer. But we'll see how they taste after they cook. Now comes the true test, the taste test. We're both gonna test it out. This one has a lot of blackberries in it.
Blackberries?
Yeah. Is it good? I'm nervous.
Not bad.
You can tell there's no added sugar.
Mm-hmm. When you buy in food, you good. Not bad though. It's good.
It's definitely not bad. I think honestly the blueberries it's supposed to have blueberries in it. So I think the blueberries will make it sweeter.
Could have made some of my blueberries. Because we probably wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Got my sweet tooth to go away.
Yeah, not bad.
So yeah,
On a scale of 0 to 10.
7.
A 7? Good.